Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Live Recruiting Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is, for you, Thursday, August the 8th, 2024. For us, it's Wednesday evening, August the 7th, 2024. Keep that in mind moving forward with any todays, tomorrows, or yesterdays. We will try to keep it simple, but you know how we are. We're complex individuals. We're complex. Not female complicated. We're alpha male complicated. You see, that's how we do things. Hey, got a fantastic show for you today. Got some questions from the corner. Got some how about yous to get to. And here to do it all with me, as always, when they're here, Mr. Allen Head, Mr. Cole Pinkston. How about you, fellas?
How about you?
How about you, big dog?
Give me a Keith Niebuhr. How about you?
How about you, everybody?
How about you? We're gonna have to get Keith on. That was one of the requests. It was requested by many to have Keith as a special guest on our 10,000 subscriber YouTube show.
That'd be good.
Certainly try to make that happen. Would love to have some Neebs on. We'll see if we can do that. He's certainly not busy covering that Florida recruiting class.
Oh,
Shoot, Keith is busy. He would be busy covering Troy. I mean, that dude works his tail.
yes, he does.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of recruiting, man, if you haven't already, we've been talking about On to Victory and its effects on Auburn recruiting, and Auburn recruiting is at number 6 right now, moving up, absolutely moving up. They should be top 5 soon if everything goes as planned. So if you haven't already, go get signed up for On to Victory. Make a difference. We'll make a real difference for those student athletes. Join On to Victory Collective for as little as $17 a month. You can support Auburn athletics. And not only that, but you get to enjoy awesome perks, man. They've got some really cool stuff, some monthly giveaways, some VIP events, behind the scenes content, fan day early entry, some closed practices you get to visit. So really cool. Also cash back on your favorite brands. And they got really cool OTV gear, man. You'll like that, and you'll get great savings on that as well. Head on over to ontovictory.co. That's ontovictory.co. And join today to support Auburn athletes and get in on these amazing benefits. It's that countdown to kickoff, man. It's fantastic. I think we've had a lot of subscribers for Auburn Live. Head on over to OTV. They see it firsthand what a difference this NIL makes in Auburn recruiting, and they want to be a part of it. As Brett Whiteside, executive director, said last week, he hopes those members of OTV are walking around holding their head up high, knowing that they are very involved and have a lot to do with Auburn's success in recruiting. So we're going to go right in to the questions from the corner. And if you're not familiar with the corner, you should be. Auburn Live on 3. Go get signed up. Join us. Come be part of our community. If the website's not your thing, if reading is not your thing, if you like to watch or if you like to listen, we've got that too, man. Go to Auburn Live Plus. Get signed up there for $2.99 a month. We have Auburn Live Plus shows. You can go back and watch some of our Big Cat preview shows, kind of put it all out there, and then we wrapped it up a week later. I know Justin's going to have some great interviews coming up from the team, and we'll always we'll be in and out with our recruiting scoops on that Auburn Live Plus. So go to our YouTube page and hit join, and you can get signed up. It's real easy. Apple Pay, boom, boom, click, click, doom. You're done. All right, let's go straight to Tart. On a serious note, folks, you know what I mean, boys? Let's get serious.
Yes, very.
And he's prefacing this by look, buckle down. Buckle down. Outside of quarterback, Cole Pinkston, this is all for you.
Yes, it is.
Which current targets out there are y'all's top 2 most important recruits to land at this point? No quarterbacks, current targets out there. Top 2 most important recruits, Cole. Who are yours?
Naeem
and why?
Offord.
I like it.
You got to start there. He's number 1 if I were doing a pecking order. And then Usman Croma for me, running back. And maybe not just Usman, just one of those top tier running backs. Shakai Mills-Knight, DeJuan Morris, who we don't hear as much about lately.
Right.
One of those 3. I think you just need an elite running back to pair with Alvin.
Okay. Mr. Allen Head?
Go ahead. No.
For me,
No,
I'm going to
hold
go.
on, finish it up, Cole.
No, I was thinking Andrew Babalola, but your offensive line class is pretty strong already. So if you miss, it's not the end of the world, but sure would be a luxury, right?
Well, in that vein, Cole, I'm going to go. My top two are positions of need, in my opinion, in this class. Linebacker Tyler Lockhart, huge target for me. I think you have to have one. Obviously, to me, see Naheem Offord is the luxury. Even though he's the number one player in the class, you have multiple cornerbacks already committed. So I feel pretty good there. And then this was always going to be an offensive line heavy class. I felt like they really needed to knock it out of the park in high school recruiting. And so Malachi Goodman for me, really like his tape.
Wow.
Interesting target. I think he would mesh extremely well with what you already have. Obviously, Andrew Babalola is a 5-star. He's somebody everybody's chasing. But give me Malachi Goodman and Tyler Lockhart.
I'm going to go with the easy two, which is Naeem Offord and Andrew Babalola, because if you want Auburn to have a top 3, top 4 class, you're going to need them in it. Not only are they great players and presumably great people, they always have been when we've spoken to them, but when you're highly ranked, when you're 5-starless with a top 5 class, that's pretty tough to do.
Feels pretty incomplete, right?
Absolutely. Not incomplete.
Yeah.
We're not completing each other. So give me Offord and Babalola, and I think both are very attainable. And so I would say those two guys for those reasons. Justin, 36-36. Does Auburn put the full court press? Here you go, Mr. Allenhead, on Malachi Goodman. I think you leave out those last 3 words, Justin, if we miss on Babalola. That don't have anything to – correct me if I'm wrong, Alan.
No, and look, Cole's the one it's got significantly better intel here than me, but to my understanding and from the conversations that I've had, Malachi Goodman and Andrew Babalola are both takes, are both priorities in this class. They are mutually exclusive for one another in their recruitments. And so absolutely, those are tier 1 type guys that they're recruiting both extremely hard. And even if they land one, they're still going to recruit the other.
Cole, give me your thoughts on – you've been all over both of these guys' recruitments. Where do you think Auburn stands right now?
Yeah, full press is on both of those guys. There's no if you miss one, do you turn up with the other? They're both, getting the full press. I've recently heard some more good news about Malachi Goodman in terms of Auburn. And I think he is very much obtainable by Auburn. I think Penn State would be the school you're trying to beat out here. But – yeah, I say Penn State. I'm not hearing that Georgia's in it that much. USC, they were kind of in it, but I don't know about that either. So Penn State-Auburn battle is what it feels like to me. I give Penn State the slightest edge, but boy, I mean, I think Auburn's got a real shot there. We don't talk about him as much, but Auburn is right in the thick of that one.
I like that, and I think we probably need to I need to find out what Malachi's thinking. At least what he's saying.
There you go.
I'm going to put him on top of my list.
I'll tell you what, I don't think he's one of these before the season decisions.
No.
I think he's going to hold off for a little while and see how things go during the season. I think you could see him in an Auburn game, maybe even the first home game.
Okay. Joe Reed, this is a good question. I certainly would love to know the answer to. What's the timeline on Offord? Could he potentially flip soon, or is this a last-minute thing? And I will say this. I thought Naeem Offord might be a last-minute deal, and I think I would still lean towards that because you want a signing day splash. Even if he's already told you he's in, you're like, hey, man, just wait it out. Let's make that big signing day flip. But anything y'all are hearing, y'all guts feeling?
I'm with you in that my initial thought was this would be December for him, and it still may, right? Because I don't know what the counter is going to be from Ohio State. Obviously, Auburn had a big push with him at Big Cat Weekend, and I think that's kind of moved the trajectory of his recruitment forward a little bit to where there's the potential of a flip sooner than what I would have initially anticipated. But I haven't heard anything solid one way or another of what the timeline would be for him. So for now, being that it's a little bit ambiguous, there's some ambiguity there. I would, nice recovery, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say December signing day right now. That's kind of the timeline for him. That's just a guess. That's not solid intel.
Cole, any opinion on that?
Let's do a throwback real quick.
Mm.
Y'all remember what I said about KJ Bolden last year?
Yes.
What I'm hearing is almost too good to be true,
Yep.
right? In terms of Auburn here. I think it could happen sooner than later if it happens.
So
Now the difference, Jeffrey, to me is with Bolden, that one seemed a lot less obtainable than this one does. And this is your in-state guy. We know what success they're having there. He's seeing all these guys that he knows jumping in, and they're recruiting him. I mean, Jared Smith told us right after he committed the other night. He said, it's Deuce Knight and Eam. That's the two I want. That's two I'm working on. I got tunnel vision on those guys, basically. And again, just the things I'm hearing, almost too good to be true for Auburn. We'll see if it works out. I rarely, when it comes to a 5-star recruitment or quarterback recruitment, I rarely believe what I hear. It's a wait and see thing for me.
Absolutely.
A lot of times.
I'm with you, and I am 100% in the same boat with you. If it's too good to be true with some of the things that have circulated, my only apprehension is what is Ohio State's counterplay. That's what I'm waiting to hear more about. Do they get him back in Columbus for a visit where it kind of nullifies some of Auburn's progress there? What happens? Because if he doesn't visit Columbus and is here soon, like for the first game or something of that nature, I may be changing this.
I've got it as a coin toss on my hot board. I've got him at 50-50 right now because of some of the things that I've heard behind the scenes on him. We know what Hugh Freeze thinks about him. We know Hugh Freeze has dialed in on him, and like Cole said, these in-state recruits are all over him. Auburn's dominating the state. They've got a chance to do something special.
Yep.
And I would certainly have him in my mock class if I were to do one.
Yeah.
I just don't know when. And as I was saying, I thought initially it would be a December guy, but I'm leaning a little bit more to Cole here. Like,
I hear you.
If what and listen, I don't even know what Cole's heard.
Right.
But it sounds like something similar that I've heard. And it's not like he's coming. It's Auburn's made a big move for this kid.
Yes. Yeah.
So, 35% is what I had him at. I've got him now at 50%. I got him in a coin flip. So if that's the case, they might want to go ahead and get him in the boat if they can.
And so let me go even further. So the too good to be true thing, and this is exactly what I meant with KJ Bolden a year ago. It's what I mean right now with Offord is it's overwhelmingly positive for Auburn. And I'm looking at it going, that sounds good. And I'll take your word for it, but let's see how that works out.
Pump the brakes there, big dog.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not doubting anybody here, but hey, that's a lot. You're hitting me with a lot right now. You're gonna have to slow down, right?
I think have made big move for him.
Yes,
is about as far as I'm willing to go. I'm not ready to say Auburn's the team to beat, or I think they're going to flip him. I just think. I think Auburn's got a lot better chance than they did a month ago. Much better. No, it's not bad. Cool. Not for me. Yeah.
No buffer.
Let's see what old Tigers Unlimited wants to know. Does Auburn take a third receiver if his last name is not Cunningham? Yes. There's a kid now by the name of Eric Smith.
Ah, yes.
100% there is.
Who is is he twins?
I don't know.
I think they might be actually, but I don't quote me on that.
Somebody needs to give Edward a phone call. See if our Selma correspondent can't get us some information there.
Yeah, we do need to ask Edward about that.
Well, I think the possibility exists. And here's the thing, guys, and I'm going to kind of think out loud here for a second.
All right.
But all the publicity that this freshman wide receiver core has garnered to this point, I think it's going to be increasingly difficult to go into the transfer portal and find somebody if these kids play up to their potential. which makes me think they may have to take one more from the high school ranks than they're necessarily anticipating. So a guy like TK Norman, does he play himself into being a take? I think it's possible. Obviously, we know they think very highly of Sam Turner at this point. I think he's somebody that's tier 1 and they're ready to take. And then there is obviously Caleb Cunningham. And maybe there's somebody else that materializes over the course of a season that we're not necessarily tracking at this point that becomes a target, or somebody maybe like a Travis Smith becomes more attainable.
With him.
Yeah, once you land like a Deuce Knight or somebody of that nature, maybe there's a wide receiver that gives you a look now that wasn't necessarily interested in Auburn when they didn't have a blue chip quarterback in the class. So I think those are all reasonable situations you could find yourself in. But I'm leaning more and more towards Auburn taking a third high school wide receiver in this class, just because I think it's going to be more difficult than I initially anticipated to get somebody that's a real quality player out of the portal.
Trooper Taylor's towel. Any movement on Sam Turner? Talked about the kid from Atlanta who's committed to Georgia Tech. What's with the smoke on Turbo Rogers? Let's start with Sam Turner. And then we definitely want to hit on Turbo Rogers because a lot of things have been flying around, a little buzz starting. And but Sam Turner, I think we're all in agreement here. It's not a matter of if, but when. Is it going to be this week? Is it going to be next week, or is it going to be the first week in September? All right, so Turbo Rogers. We talked a little bit about the show. We're not convinced, as some other people are in this business, that it's as imminent.
Well, it's a lot of moving parts with the running backs right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And if that's the case, let's just say that Rogers it wants in Auburn. Did you just take them? I don't know. I don't know if you're there yet. I think there's too many options that's still available and still on the table for you to just take, him and then possibly hurt your chances with one of those other guys. I think you wait. On that.
I think what I would say from this is I think he is attainable. I think he's an option on the table.
Yeah,
I don't know that he's the option that they're turning to at this point. Now, could he be the most likely to end up in the class? I think that's a possibility for sure.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
But I don't know that we're there just yet. Right?
Beautifully said.
Let me ask y'all this. Do you think there is a scenario that Auburn were to take Turbo Rogers and add another back like Shakai Mills-Knight or Usman Chroma?
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
I think they would love to. I just don't think it's possible. I think if you get Turbo, you're closing the door on Usman. That's why I think Usman postponing his announcement until into the fall was good. We all agreed that was good for Auburn because we believe he wants to see what Auburn looks like. He wants before he makes his decision. But I think that also prolongs any big moves Auburn or big pushes Auburn might make with Turbo Rogers. I don't think they're going to take Turbo Rogers, if they could, until Usman Chroma or even Shakai Mills-Knight, those two are off the board. I could be wrong.
No, I think that's fair. And I would also put DeJuan Morris in the same bucket as Turbo. Like both of those are kind of paired to me. They're playmakers, and I think Alvin is a big enough back that you can put those guys with him and still go into the portal, because I think that's going to be an option for the third back in this class, because I do believe they're going to take 3.
Yep.
I tend to believe that third back is going to be a transfer portal player, probably somebody from a smaller school that's looking to make a splash on the big stage. But maybe there's a back at a Power 4 school that is looking for more snaps, and Auburn decides that they really like their tape or their skill set, what have you.
I will say this about Turbo. He's more of a third down back. He could be your return specialist. So he's got some qualities that's not just, your first 2 down, 3 down back, like Usman Chroma, Shakai Mills-Knight.
Yeah, there's some definite portability with him that you can use him in some different spots. And I think the same of DeJuan Morris. So both of those, again, very similar type players for me. He's almost built like Sean Shivers. I mean, probably bigger. Sean was what, 5'5"?
We just saw him. Yeah, he's probably about 5'5", 5'6".
So
Yeah.
Turbo's about 5'8", so he's a couple inches taller.
Okay. Turbo's pretty small. That's probably 5'8" with cleats on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sean
fast.
Shivers, Auburn.
He is. He's very fast. And that's
5'7".
that. Yep. Sean was
Shivers,
5'7".
Mm-hmm. Or he's listed at 5'7".
Yeah. I don't buy that one.
The problem with Turbo is if you took him right now, you're basically they don't. They probably won't be able to get that. If you get Turbo, that's your second back. You're probably not going to have a shot with Shakai Mills-Knight, Usman Chroma, even though there's two completely different backs. So I'm with both of you guys. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
I don't think. Again, I could be wrong. He could commit tomorrow. I don't know, but I don't think so. BM Harp. Been on a roll here with some how about yous lately. What is the timeline for a deuce flip? Should it happen? Timeline, sooner or later, fellas. Sooner or later. Later meaning first game August 31st. So anything August 31st and later would be later. Anything August 30th being sooner.
I'm going to
Should
be
it
honest.
happen?
Yeah, I'm going to be honest right now.
Okay.
Completely transparent with our audience here.
Do it.
I feel very confident in Deuce Knight to Auburn at this point. When that's going to happen, the information has been scattered there, and I don't necessarily have a real feel on it. I feel like it's going to happen, and it's going to happen before the 31st. But, man, your guys' guess is as good as mine on if it's going to happen sooner rather than later. And I would put my later at like August 28th. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's like the drop dead day.
Well, let's put it this way. Does everybody on this panel think Deuce Knight is on Auburn's commitment list by the time toe meets leather on August 31st?
Personally, yes, for me.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, I feel as good as you do, Alan. And I have put RPM predictions on guys that I felt a lot less good about.
Sure.
Hey, I'm just going to say this again.
There you go.
Don't trust quarterbacks. Nope. Especially not ones committed to Notre Dame. Now, again, feel good. Just don't trust quarterbacks.
Fair. Jeffrey, your feeling?
I'm ready to put in RPM.
No,
after
I will not join you.
After the conversations I had Wednesday, I'm like you, Alan. I feel very, very good about him committing to Auburn. When, I have no idea. I think it's sooner, but I mean, we're all three here in 3 different dates, or not even dates, but periods of time, weeks.
Right.
So who knows? But I do think it's going to happen. I just don't know when. So we don't know BM Hart. We wish we did, but we all do feel like in the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
That'll be 29th. So yeah, in the next 3 weeks sometime. Carter Man, old Bammer lover. Do you see the staff pushing harder for Zion Grady? Well, we forget about this edge position. Zion Grady, third Scroggins. I don't think there is a last spot at edge. Well, first of all, Alan, you don't, and I'm sure Cole's the same way. Y'all don't really feel Zion Grady in 2 years is an edge.
I don't.
Cole?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't think he's a surefire edge. I think he can move down or to the other side at 5 technique, put a hand in the ground. I think the reason why we don't talk about edge as much, and this is just a theory that I have, I think Kieran Crawford's going to be good. I would be more shocked if he weren't. And obviously we know what Jalen McLeod is. Auburn's been able to find edges in the portal. And they're on a little bit of a streak. 2, they got 2 in 2 years. If they're able to keep that up, then I don't look at this position in the high school class just like the biggest need you got. It is. It's a need, but it's not like Offord or Babalola or running back, in my opinion.
I tend to agree. Plus, you add into the layered aspect of this that you just got, Joe Phillips. You landed the young man out of Mississippi last year. So you've got 2 young ones already. You just got a huge commitment out of Jared Smith, and then there's always the potential that J.J. Falk grows into an edge. So for me, it's not as much of a – I mean, now look, you always take pass rushers. If you can get either of these guys, you take them, period, in my honest opinion. But it's not necessarily, like, as you said, Cole, the most glaring need at this point, in my opinion.
I agree. Yeah.
But I do believe they're going to continue to push for both, and then we'll see, basically how it all shakes out in the end.
The question being, do you see the staff pushing harder? I don't know that they can push any. I think they're pushing hard for both of those guys. I think they always will. I think Zion Grady, I don't think they can push any harder, if that's the question, Carter, man. So there you go. Oh, Quay. I always want to say Quan Bray. Quay. Does a Deuce Knight flip open up any doors to recruits that we have not really been in with? I'm sure. I don't know who it is, but I'm sure.
I think that's the best way to answer it, because I took a peek at, there were some questions on the board asking all three of us, do we think his flip would lead to Auburn pursuing any current Notre Dame commits? And I honestly didn't see anyone committed to them that I thought, okay, this is somebody that Auburn would target.
I don't think that would happen.
No. I mean, I think Notre Dame recruits a different kind of player. And they have kind of the construct or an idea of a certain player that fits at Notre Dame. And I think Auburn's already got players at the positions where they have players presently committed. So guys that you might consider a flip target, I think Auburn may already be full at those positions. And so realistically, where I think Deuce helps you the most is adding offensive playmakers. I think running back, wide receiver, potentially offensive line. And I didn't see anyone on their commitment list that's really going to be that Auburn would be attracted to. I think we know where the targets are there. It's obviously Babalola and Goodman on the offensive line. Those are the big two that you're going to be after. Running back, it's Shakai Mills-Knight, it's Chroma, it's DeJuan Morris, it's Turbo Rogers. Wide receiver, it's Sam Turner and Caleb Cunningham. So there's a lot of known out there. And maybe there's somebody that we're not anticipating, but is it just me, or do we feel like you know so much more about the board right now this year than you did this time last year?
So many less spots.
Well, I just think you're hitting on your top targets, and that makes it so much easier.
That's
There's
true.
no, you're not having to get down to tier 2, really, at all. And I'll tell you what, to answer this question, I'll go back to a question we had earlier in the show. Does Auburn take another receiver not named Cunningham? You said Eric Smith. What about Jerome Miles? He just put Auburn in his top 10. I wonder, and he was committed to Ole Miss. Now, I don't know if that ties, Miles and Deuce together so much, but I do think that's a guy you could maybe look at and see him favor Auburn more down the road.
Where's he from? Like out west?
Utah. Yeah.
He told me he's going to take an official visit.
Okay. All right. Stand by on that. Now, I will say this, and this is surprising to me, but I went back and looked at it. Utah does a pretty good job of circling the state and landing kids that are from the state of Utah. But
ain't good anymore.
Utah?
Yeah.
They're gonna be, they're like top 10 preseason this year, right?
Wow.
Yep.
They got like an 8th-year quarterback, Cam Rising, who's very good.
Yep.
But that Kyle Whittingham's considered one of the best coaches in college football. They're always good.
No, I agree. I agree.
Who was the quarterback they had?
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. There you go.
Yep.
Back when Urban Meyer was there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. See that? So they've been good since then.
Oh yeah.
I just don't put much stock into them.
I hear you.
Hey, look, you better watch out for them in the 12-team playoff. They might be sneaky good there.
Okay.
They certainly could be. Well, the last probably 4 years or so, I think they would have made the playoff multiple times.
I agree. Yeah, they've been right there.
Old Urban Meyer before he was grinding on girls in Jacksonville.
Speaking of Griggy, getting Griggy with it. When is Tyler Lockhart going to stop teasing and make it official?
Oh,
Again,
okay.
he left that off. Make it official again. Tyler Lockhart, the 4-star linebacker from Mississippi, committed to Auburn and decommitted after he went for an official visit to state. His brother, TJ,
Yep.
is a true freshman offensive, huge refrigerator, man,
Yeah,
at Mississippi State. So a lot of pull to keep him home. But since a Big Cat visit, we have heard very positive things for Auburn in their efforts to get him back in the class. Do we think this is something that could happen sooner than later?
I'm going to go sooner on that one. I'm going to stick my neck out and go sooner on that one. I don't have any hard intel. This is purely gut, right?
Yeah, me too.
But I'm going to go sooner.
Yeah, sooner.
I think somebody asked last week, and I thought they said this next week, and I thought, by the end of next week, it seems pretty reasonable. If he's going to do it, if he's riding the high off of Big Cat, he's going to do it in the next week or two. We'll see. Who knows? I don't know. He's really quiet. We'll see. Dr. Bobius. Oh, is it obvious? Dr. Bobvious. Oh. That's a dad name, isn't it? Like a dad joke name.
Yeah.
The laugh is what got me.
Oh, cuz. That was for Cole.
Yeah.
Of the current commits, who do you see? This is the last question. Let's make it a good one, Dr. Bobbius. Current commitments, who do you see as a day one contributor? Are there any guys you see as impact players in their freshman year? Do you see a Cam Coleman on that commitment list?
Okay.
And who would, let me say this, because of position, because of need, because of holes in the depth chart for Auburn next year, what position and who do you think has the best chance to contribute?
I got one, and I think Cole's possibly going to have the same one. So we can say it on three together, Cole, if you want. One, two, three. Jordan Crawford. Yep, that's the one, man.
Really?
That's it. That's who I was thinking. You got it.
Not Malik Autry, not Antonio Coleman, but Jordan, 6'1" Crawford.
I think he is the most ready to contribute right now. And I think the biggest need, if you look at who you're graduating or who the potential attrition is going to be from the nose tackle position / one tech spot, is really going to get hit hard after this year.
Yeah.
So, and just watch Jordan on tape. You're talking about a guy I honestly believe, and you've seen Malik Blockton right now flash, and potentially he's going to get into the rotation some. I saw Cole or Justin's write up, one of the two of you guys the other day that was kind of watching him and thinking he was getting into the rotation more than you would have anticipated at this point. But I think Jordan's more advanced than Malik at the same stage, and I do believe the position, unless they go into the transfer portal and just absolutely kill it, is going to require somebody to play early.
Yeah, well, look at who your three noses right now. It's Jason Jones, Isaiah Rakes, and Trill Carter.
All seniors. Yep.
They're gone.
I'm going to go defense, secondary.
Okay.
I think Fagans or
Oh,
Winters.
yeah, that's a great pick.
Fagans definitely, because you're losing Jaron Thompson after this year, right? And typically speaking, and you guys know this better than me, but the further away you are from the ball, the sooner it is you can typically play early,
That's
right?
The easier it is. Then.
I'll go a step further, Jeffrey. I think he starts.
Really?
Woo!
He's that good.
Unless they go get another Jaron Thompson type, I think he's a starter.
As the kids would say, damn, son.
I'm telling you, I really do think that guy is as SEC college ready as it gets.
I like it, Cole. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I like it. We'll see. We'll see how things unfold, man. Auburn kicks off August the 31st. They have 22 commitments right now, if I'm not mistaken. 22 commitments. A group that is ranked number 6 in the country, just behind number 5 Oregon. In the 2026 class, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but it went to number 2 behind Oregon. Let me check on 3 industry rankings. Yes, Auburn is now ranked number 2 in the country in 2026 and number 6 in the country in 2025. We expect either one of y'all keeping an eye on 2026 guys. Preseason commitments.
Yes.
Yeah, couple. I mean,
Tiller, I believe. No, is it Tiller?
Yeah, Xavier Tiller's one. Jordan Carter.
Carter for me for sure. Tiller's the tight end out of Atlanta, correct?
Georgia.
Langston Hughes.
Langston Hughes, that's right. Yeah, I'd put him on my list too.
I get him and the Bowden kid, Jamar Bowden, mixed up.
I tell you what, I did not have Wayne Henry. Is that his name?
Yeah, we forgot him.
I did not have him on my bingo card.
Somebody asked me, did Auburn have a chance? I said, dude, he's never visited.
Yeah, and then your update.
Then Monday morning, it was like, hey, I think he's going to commit to Auburn.
Hey, I will have a breakdown on him. I just need a little more information.
The very few clips that I saw, I kind of liked what I saw.
Oh, I mean, he's fiery. He's little, definitely that. But he's got a lot. He's got good tape.
What do you think, nickel, Cole?
It has to be. I think it has to be with his size. You can't get him mismatched out there at corner.
No,
5'8", 170.
Maybe. I mean, is he another? Let's see, like a Ladarius Tennyson type one day?
I can see because he's still filling his frame out, and he looks relatively thick, right? Like I think that he can continue to add weight. So you're talking about a guy maybe 5'8", 5'9", that can play at 190 plus.
Hey,
yeah.
I mean, listen, Auburn has done wonders with undersized corners and
100%
defensive backs. How about Javaris Davis?
What about JP?
Yeah,
Sherrod Powers.
Yeah, Sherrod Powers.
He mentioned Buda Baker to me. Wayne Henry says, I always get compared to Buda Baker. I didn't know who Buda Baker was.
Yeah, he plays for, I don't know. He played for Washington.
Arizona. I think he's in Arizona now because I just wrote the story. But he was from Washington, University of Washington. And then who else was it? Oh, Threezy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Oh, I love Robinson Threezy.
Yeah, I loved him. He could ball now. That cat could ball.
Pretty much everybody we named, I think, is under 5'10", there. Or at least at 5'10", not over 5'10".
So
he's interesting. I have film. We have some film of him, but I do want to take a little bit of time and break him down appropriately. I need to see a little bit more before we get into all that. But man, because he just came out of nowhere, completely.
I never, Cole, when we talked to Blake Woodby and Bryce Dees at Big Cat, they were mentioning these names, and I was like,
"Oh yeah,
okay, cool." I didn't write them down or anything. I was like, okay, whatever you say, dude. But speaking of those two, I'm telling you what, Auburn fans are going to love those guys.
I agree.
They are a dynamic duo, not just on the field, but in personality.
They're awesome. I'm gonna get Blake on an Auburn Live Plus show. Might be next week. I don't know when, but and maybe Bryce will hop on there too. But Blake he's awesome. I love.
Yeah,
Blake
he is.
Speaking of Blake Woodby, let me give you my comp there, and it is a former Ole Miss player under Hugh Freeze. Let's go, Sinquez Golson. Really like.
Where did he go to high school?
Sinquez was Mississippi, right?
I'm thinking of Austin.
Yeah.
Sinquez had the.
How do you spell Sinquez?
Senquez, I think. He
got
had the
drafted
pick
by the Steelers. Yeah, he's from Pascagoula. Got drafted by the Steelers in the second round.
Didn't he have the pick in the Bama game?
He did. Played that ball beautifully. Yeah. OJ Howard in the end zone.
And he was a 5'9" guy, I think.
Correct. That's it.
Where's Tennyson from? Was he
from LT
Florida?
Is from Florida. Yeah, he's from the
Rockledge.
Yes.
Yes, you are exactly right.
Yeah.
There was another. short DB from Pascagoula who was a stud. And maybe I'm thinking of this kid. Either way, the height to me is not ideal, but it doesn't. Dude, if the kid can play, the kid can play. Did you see that he reaches? And I thought, oh, this is going to be a good PBU.
Mm-hmm.
He reaches in front of the receiver, down at the almost on the turf, and I'm like, oh, he's going to swat that ball, Ray. He cones it, picks it off.
Yeah, right.
I was like, now that's impressive.
Big time.
No, he's got good ball skills. He's nasty. I mean, there's a lot of things to like there. There are.
St. Francis Academy.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm trying to think of the head coach of Charlotte's name, but he kind of got that academy started there before he went to work for Harbaugh at Michigan and then became the head coach at Charlotte. I'm trying to think of his name. I can see him standing with no sleeves on the sideline for Charlotte.
Sun's out, guns out?
Oh, yeah, dude. This cat's different. And he's a self-made millionaire in addition to that.
Interesting.
What's that guy's name?
Interesting. All right, fellas. How about some how about yous? I've got two. I have two. How about
I have
yous?
8. I had 5, and I mean, that's a lot. I know, but I'll roll through them fast. Go ahead, Jeffrey. If you want me to start it off.
Yeah, I'll knock mine out.
All right.
How about you to 95 seed 24 me for his knowledgeable post and informative post on trail cameras. I thoroughly enjoyed his reviews and took it to heart. Also, how about you to J. Lee Spicy Nugs?
I like it.
Good stuff.
All right, there you go. How about you to those fellas?
All right. I guess I can go with mine here. Braden for the second week in a row for me.
Oh.
Not going to tell you why. Just trust me. It was funny.
Okay.
Okay.
Braden is just one word. Braden, Braeden.
That's correct.
Okay.
Phillips E. Phillips, capital E, all one word.
Okay.
Baked Ram.
Oh, that's times 2, please.
Okay.
He said after Steve Wiltfong put his prediction in for Deuce Knight, he said, I just can't believe that Cole Pinkston kept Deuce from coming to Auburn.
Oh.
Dude, I literally high-fived air on that one. I was like, thank you, Baked Ram.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We know what we're doing in Nicole.
Maybe, right?
I mean, the Cooper Wallace Experience.
Oh,
such a good username. Man, that's just the username. I love it.
Hey.
Also, I believe he was the one that made a bet with someone and said Auburn will not get a top 6 class. And he said, all right, I'm going to make good. I made a $250 donation to the American Cancer Society. I made a $250 donation to OTV. There's your 500.
Yep.
Times 2, big dog, because I was looking to see who it was. And first of all, I love the way he it wasn't like, they ain't never going to happen. He's like, I hope I'm wrong. And if I am, I'll gladly pay. And unlike the guy who he made a bet with, he didn't welch on this.
Ooh, because the person he made the bet with has welched before.
Shots fired. So, how about you?
To double whammy there, he did an awesome thing, and he has an amazing username. The Cooper
Is
Wallace.
it experiment or experience?
It's experience. The Cooper Wallace Experience.
Good on you, Cooper Wallace Experience times 2. How about you?
TC Tuggers again.
He's on fire. It's TC Tuggers on fire.
Yep, he took up for Don in a very, very funny way. He took up for him. It was good. It was also very funny. So I give him one there.
Yeah, definitely.
J. Lee 'S Pink Head. J. Lee's Pink Head.
That's a pink face today. Ain't
Now there's 2 J. Lee's Pink Heads, and this is the.
My man's been outside a little bit today.
Yeah, can you tell? This is the apostrophe S version of Jay Lee's pink head.
There are two Jay Lee's pink head.
One has
Mhm.
an apostrophe at the S and one does not.
All right.
He said about Jared Smith when I posted the live announcement thread while I was there. He said, "Now, are we sure he's a take? Because he's from Alabama, and that doesn't matter anymore."
Mhm.
Good stuff. Robert Dale 1.
Hmm.
And then I feel sure somebody else will have this, or Alan, you might. AU Brian 98. He said, the Don life. Wake up, call into radio shows, discuss radio shows, eat at Twin Peaks, piss excellent, repeat.
Yes, dude. Yeah, that one hit the spot.
That's AU Brian 98, man. I'm sorry I had to take a minute on those guys because they were so good.
You did good.
That one, and I didn't bookmark it. I forgot to. The person that said that Don reminds them of an early old school Howard Stern caller.
Oh boy, I love Don too, man. He takes it
I
like
do.
a champ. He don't care.
Well, sorry, because Don got a little bit roughed up. He was number 1 on my list. So Don this week for me.
Good.
Is it War Damn Don?
Yes,
Yeah,
War
all
Damn
one
Don.
word, I think.
Yep. The next one is another whipping boy of the corner, Steve Balboni, for asking about our recruiting thread today.
Steven.
Yeah, that's right. It is Steven Balboni now.
Yeah, he's on a short leash.
I have a love-hate relationship with Steve Balboni.
Yeah, he's on a short leash. He better get his Habashes in because I don't foresee a future.
I know he can't help himself, can he?
Completely understood. And then Jaquel, who quickly came after Stephen Balboni for asking where recruiting thread goes. I seen it with the meme from Pineapple Express. It's one of my favorites.
It's a good meme.
That's Daryl from The Office.
Yes, dude.
Yeah.
I seen
Daryl.
it. Yeah.
Oh no, who was it? How about you two?
Jaquel 019.
JAKELL.
Yeah.
JEKEL 019.
JEKEL.
Yep. Jaquel 019.
019. That's a good group.
I agree.
It is.
I agree.
Good
Still
week on the corner.
We had some holdovers still from Big Cat Weekend. I mean, that's how big Big Cat Weekend was.
Is everybody called up?
I think so.
Hey, I got one last one. How about you to Ryan freaking G, man, for calling in?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
I enjoyed that.
Yep. He was good.
He was very good.
All right.
Now you guys are gonna have to indoctrinate him to the how about you, but other than that,
he's a big fan of the show.
I like it. Good.
I was like, thanks for coming. He goes, dude, I love the show. I listen to it every week.
Man,
or watch y'all every week.
Listen, you've got guys that
started to think,
Auburn.
Did I say anything bad about him? I thought there's nothing to say bad about Ron G. He's a freaking stud.
No, absolutely.
And listen, he's more of an inline tight end, and he'll become more of a receiver as he gets to Auburn. That dude is big, son. He gets bigger every time I see him. I mean, for real. But anyway, he was great. I love Ryan. He's truly an Auburn guy. He's an Auburn fan. Some guys are like, I choose Auburn because it's best choice, whatever. He goes, man, I love Auburn. I'm in.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. How about you? Let's see. 95C, 24Me, J. Lee's Spicy Nugs, Braden, Phillips E, Baked Ram ×2, Cooper Wallace Experience ×2, TC Tuggers, J. Lee's Pinkhead with an apostrophe.
Yes.
The apostrophe. Robert Dale's been on fire here lately. AU Brian 98. I love that one. I'm going to make him ×2. I'm going to make him ×2 because I saw that, Cole, and I was like, dude just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, he really did, dude.
I saw you had a laughing reaction to it. And I was like, all right, well, I got to see what he said. I was going to just skim past
it. War damn Don. Speak of the devil. How about you, big dog? Stephen Balboni, enjoy it while you can. Jaquel 019. And how about you to tight end commitment, Mr. Ryan G?
Yes.
Fantastic show, fantastic questions. We appreciate everybody. One more time, man, do not forget, if you haven't already, go check out OTV. Make a difference in these guys' lives, man. It helps everybody, the student athletes. It helps Auburn. You get some great benefits. Go to ontovictory.co, ontovictory.co. Get signed up. And be a reason Auburn has a top 5 class this year. we'll see how it goes. All right, folks, that's going to do it. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate everybody watching. For Alan Head, for Cole Pinkston, for Zach in the back, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay in the left lane. Stay out of the left lane. See?